Hi besties, let me take you through the journey of making this masterpiece. All you need is your pencils, tracing wheel, French curve, ruler, of course, paper tip, and your table measurements. So since I'm using a miniature template, I am retracing it on the fresh paper. So miniatures are small bodies, we all know that. So you can choose to do whatever style you want to do with this. Maybe a blazer, maybe a jacket, a suit, anything you want to use it for. In this case, I'm doing a blazer. It's armless blazer. So I'm going in. If it's an adult sizes, of course, you will use your inches. So I will be using sticking with my centimeters measurement. So I went in by 0.5 cm from the shoulder and I connected it to the underbust length. You can see. So from that underbust line, I measured. Measured. If it's an adult, you have to use 3 inches. But because it's a miniature, I'm using half an inch. So by the way, I'll be switching between inches and centimeters. Please pardon me. So then I connect the lines together after achieving my 1.5 inches. So with that being said, I measured from my shoulder line down to the half length bust, then divided it by 3 because we are doing 3 layers of colors. So I divided it by 3. In this case, I got 18 centimeter. Yeah, I used centimeters to measure it so I could get the accurate numbers to divide. So I got 18 centimeters, then I divided it by 6 each. So in each of them, I first chose my pencil to get the accurate shape. I used it to get the accurate shape to for the first layer, for the second layer, and also the third layer. If you want, don't quote me wrong, please. If you want and I exaggerate, this color is actually for the moderate sizes. When I actually did it on my own body, I didn't use 3 inches to achieve my color. I used 4 inches because I wanted it a bit bigger. Yes, I used 4 inch. So if you want to make it bigger, the you are not restricted to a certain number. Just do it to your desire. How big or whatever shape you actually want it to be. So now I've used my pencil to derive to get the first cape, the first side of the cape. Yeah. So then after you can see the way I divided it using my own French curve to get the shape. If you remember using your hands, I don't know, many people feel very comfortable using their hand. Me, I don't feel because it just gives this this roughness in you. Now pattern making is art. So the neatness it comes out, the beauty you get to see. You get to see the real thing you are doing, right? So using my French curve, after I've used my hand to find like trees, I had to use my French curve as well to get the exact and neat shape that I want. You don't need to go through all this stress. You might just use your hand. Many people use you. It's not like a law. So that being said, so this is the second layer I have done. Then moving to the third layer. So notes after you've done all of this, you have to take a fresh paper, like a fresh paper, to retrace all of this back again. When you want to retrace it, I made that mistake. You have to use your pencil. It's okay to also use whatever um, writing pen you're using to draft. Maybe in this case, I didn't want to use my marker. It would be too bold and you might miss the real detail. So from the second color, which is the number 2 color, I used my pencil to extend it to the shoulder just to make it stick together to get the third color. I extended it to the second color. By the second color, I extended it to the third color. That's the trick of making um this color, because if you actually cut it this way, my love, it's not going to give you the look. It's be giving you what I ordered versus what I got. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. So you have to extend it. If you choose to even extend everything to the shoulder, is your choice. You can extend the number 3 to the shoulder, to the tip of the shoulder, and you can extend the second shoulder, the second collar to the shoulder line. It's your choice. But in my own case, I didn't extend the third collar to the shoulder line. I did not. I just the extended it to the second line. Then I extended the second collar to the shoulder line of the first collar. I hope you get that. So then you can now retrace it separately because you need to cut them one after the other. I traced the number one with my red marker, with my red marker, then cut it out. And this is what we got. Then I did that to the second collar base using my green marker to achieve that. So you guys could differentiate. I mean, you guys and me myself, I can differentiate the the colors, not to get it on mix. You know this pattern thinking. If you are not careful, you get to mix. See, the most confusing pattern to ever do. Do you guys know is corset? When you are doing corset, you make mistake to label it. My God, just forget it because you will definitely mix it. I learned that and I learned it the hard way. But right now, every see, that was what corset taught me. Corset taught me to always be careful with my patterns because you can mix them. Once you mix them, you'll be asking yourself what went wrong. So that's with that being said, so this is me. I've got all the layers. Yeah, this is the first. I mean, the first, second, and the third layer together. Then I want to place it. I mean, place it on the color. I mean, so now you now have new color base and the new color on a different paper than the base. So after doing all of this, I have to come it for you guys to see, but you have to sew it. So you sew it to see the end result of this. So I got it. I've gummed the three color. You can see the way I place it. That's how you place it when you are sewing it. This is it. So then I place the first on it. It can be the third, it can be the first, anyone. You sure understood what I'm saying. So I mean, this is how you put every one of it. They must be connecting to the arm line of the dress. So after being said, after doing all of that, you I mean you turn over. So here is this trick. Here is the tricky part of this color. When making it, you have to cut off the base. Yes. What I mean the base, I mean the actual your first how do I explain this? The base of your pattern, I mean the actual pattern, the clothes, the first pattern you made to retrace all of that. You cut that one out, cut the collar, I mean the collar side. Don't cut everything, no, just the collar side. Just make it straight the way I did it. So as when you are sewing it, I mean you cut that. I mean, so when you place on your pattern, your lining and your actual fabric will be that base. Yes, will be that base. So the new color will be the only color you have. To cut that one separate, put your whatever stay on it, and I mean put them together. Why the lining and the your fabric, you sew them together, and then put them. You know, the new color is coming behind the lining of your actual fabric. So you turn over to the front. I mean, if you want a sewing tip of this, please let me know in your comment section, and I will be dropping the sewing video. But if nobody is saying anything, that means I know you all like of course you all like Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye.